For 30 years, Thailand was the answer. But in 2024, something changed. Western men started booking flights, not to Bangkok, to Manila. This is not about beaches. This is not about cheaper beer. This is about something Thailand stopped offering. And once you understand why, you will see why this shift is just beginning. This is not a video about stereotypes. This is not about judging anyone. This is about choices and what retirement has become in Southeast Asia. Because when you look closer, the Philippines is not just an alternative. It is becoming the preferred choice. In 2020, Thailand welcomed over 11 million Western visitors. The Philippines, just 2 million. But by 2024, retirement visa applications to the Philippines jumped by more than 300%, while Thailand's long-stay visa numbers began to plateau. What happened? Thailand did not get worse. It stayed exactly the same. And that is the problem. The world moved forward. Western retirees' expectations changed, and the Philippines offered something Thailand could not, or would not, adapt to provide. So let's break it down. 7 reasons why this shift is happening, and why it might be permanent. Bonus reason: the uncomfortable truth, power, and perception. There is one topic everyone avoids when discussing Western men in Southeast Asia. Let's not avoid it. This is about poverty, power dynamics, and the uncomfortable questions nobody wants to ask. Because if we are going to be honest about why men choose the Philippines over Thailand, we need to address the shadow that follows this conversation everywhere. Sex tourism, economic exploitation, the unspoken exchange that some people assume defines every relationship between a Western man and a Southeast Asian woman. Let me be clear from the start. This exists in both countries. Denying it would be dishonest. But reducing every relationship to a transaction is also dishonest, and it ignores the real economic and cultural forces at play. So let's talk about it. Respectfully, but directly. The economic reality: Thailand's GDP per capita is around $7,800 USD per year. The Philippines sits at roughly $3,500 USDA per year. That is less than half. In both countries, poverty is not a backdrop. It is not an exotic detail that makes your vacation more authentic. It is real. It is daily. It shapes every decision millions of people make. In rural Thailand, families survive on $150 to $300 per month. In rural Philippines, that number drops to $100 to $200. When a Western retiree arrives with a pension of $1,500 to $2,500 per month, the economic gap is not just large, it is generational. That gap creates power. And power, when unexamined, creates harm. The industry nobody wants to name. Yes, sex tourism exists in Southeast Asia. Pattaya, Bangkok's Nana Plaza, Phuket's Banla Road. These places are real. The industry is massive. In the Philippines, Angeles City, parts of Metro Manila, Cebu, the same industry operates. But here is what the stereotypes miss. The vast majority of Western men in both countries are not participating in this industry. They are living normal lives, dating, building relationships, starting families. The problem is not that every relationship is transactional. The problem is that economic inequality makes it nearly impossible to know when genuine affection ends and survival strategy begins. And that ambiguity, that uncomfortable gray area, is what we need to talk about. Power dynamics are not romantic. Let's address the most uncomfortable part. When a 65-year-old man from the United States or Europe dates a 30-year-old woman from a rural province, is that love? Maybe. Sometimes. Often. Even. But it is also privilege. The man has financial security, a passport that opens borders, a pension that never runs out. The woman has limited economic options, family pressure to contribute income, few pathways out of poverty. Does that mean every relationship is fake? No. Does it mean love cannot exist across that gap? Absolutely not. But it does mean awareness is not optional. If you are a Western man moving to Southeast Asia, you need to ask yourself hard questions. Am I here because I value this person? or because I value what poverty allows me to access? Am I offering partnership, or am I offering rescue in exchange for companionship? Does she have the freedom to say no, or does her economic reality remove that freedom? These are not accusations. These are responsibilities. Because the moment you stop asking these questions, you stop seeing the person in front of you. And that is when relationships, even well-intentioned ones, become exploitation. Why the Philippines feels different. So why do Western men describe the Philippines as feeling less transactional than Thailand, despite the Philippines being significantly poorer? The answer is culture. Thailand is Buddhist. The philosophy teaches non-attachment. Relationships, even romantic ones, are seen as temporary. Emotional independence is valued. In tourist-heavy areas, this detachment mixes with economic pragmatism. Relationships become flexible. Short-term exchanges feel normal. The Philippines is Catholic, one of the most religious nations on earth. Here, relationships are not temporary. Marriage is forever. Divorce is illegal. Family is sacred. Even in poverty, even in desperation, the cultural framework resists pure transactionalism. When a Filipina enters a relationship, her entire family becomes involved. Cousins, aunts, grandparents. The community watches. That does not eliminate exploitation, but it adds accountability. A Western man cannot simply pay and disappear. He is absorbed into a social structure that demands respect, longevity, and genuine care. This is not because Filipinos are morally superior. It is because their culture makes invisible transactions visible. And visibility, uncomfortable visibility, protects against the worst abuses. The honest conclusion. If you are watching this video and thinking about moving to the Philippines or Thailand, hear this clearly. Poverty is not a convenience. It is not a feature that makes your life easier or relationships simpler. It is a condition that millions of people endure while you enjoy the benefits. If you are moving to Southeast Asia to exploit that poverty, to treat human beings like services you purchase, stay home. You are not wanted. You are not welcome. And you are the reason these places struggle with their reputations. But if you are moving because you genuinely want connection, because you value warmth and family and simplicity, then understand your privilege. Understand that your money creates power, and use that power responsibly. Date with honesty. Commit with integrity. Never confuse financial support with ownership. Respect is not optional. It is the baseline. The Philippines is not rising because it is cheaper than Thailand. It is rising because the culture still fights for dignity, even in poverty. And men who recognize that, who honor that, find something Thailand can no longer offer. A place where relationships still mean something beyond convenience. Reason 1. The language that changes everything. After 40 years in the workforce, after paying taxes, following rules, the last thing a retired man wants is to feel like a child again. In Thailand, ordering food becomes a negotiation. Hospital visits require translators. Legal documents feel like puzzles. You are never truly independent. Many retirees describe the same experience. After 5, even 10 years in Thailand, they still feel like outsiders. Not because Thais are unfriendly, but because language creates an invisible wall. The Philippines is different. Not because Filipinos are smarter, but because history gave them a gift. 330 years of Spanish colonization, followed by nearly 50 years of American influence. English is not a second language here. It is woven into daily life. Street signs are in English. Government documents are in English. TV shows, radio stations, newspapers, all in English. More importantly, conversations happen in English. Not broken English. Not tourist English. Real conversations. This is not about convenience. It is about dignity. When you are 65 and need to see a doctor, you want to explain your symptoms clearly. When you are signing a lease, you want to understand every word. When you make a friend, you want to actually know them, not just smile and nod. Thailand offers beauty and cheap living. The Philippines offers something deeper, the ability to be yourself again. And for many men, that difference is everything. Reason 2, woman and culture. The honest truth. Let's address what everyone is thinking, but few people say out loud. Yes, many Western men move to Southeast Asia hoping to meet someone, and there is nothing wrong with that. Loneliness does not stop at 60. The desire for companionship, warmth, and connection, that is human, not shameful. But here is where Thailand and the Philippines differ, and it is not about beauty. Thai women are stunning. Filipino women are stunning. This is not a beauty contest. The difference is cultural. Thailand is a Buddhist country. The culture values independence, personal space, and non-attachment. Relationships can feel emotionally reserved. Many Thai women, especially in tourist areas, have seen too many foreigners come and go. Trust takes years to build. The Philippines is a Catholic country, one of the most religious nations on earth. Family is everything. Loyalty is sacred. Divorce is illegal. When a Filipina commits, she commits. Not because of money, though financial stability matters, but because her culture teaches her that relationships are lifelong bonds. This does not mean every relationship works. It does not mean there are no challenges, cultural gaps, or misunderstandings. But it does mean the intention is different. In Thailand, relationships often feel transactional, even when genuine affection exists. The line between romance and business blurs. In the Philippines, relationships feel relational. There is warmth. There is inclusion. You do not just date a Filipina. You join a family. Western men describe the same experience. In Thailand, they felt desired but distant. In the Philippines, they feel wanted and welcomed. That emotional difference, for many men, outweighs every other factor on this list. Again, this is not about one being better. It is about what fits your soul. But if you have spent decades feeling invisible in the West, the Filipino warmth hits differently. Reason 3. Cost of living. The real numbers. Let's talk about money. Because yes, both countries are cheaper than the West. But the gap between them is bigger than most people realize. In Thailand, a comfortable retirement costs around 50 to 70,000 baht per month. That is roughly $1,400 to 2,000 USD. Rent for a decent one-bedroom apartment in Chiang Mai or Pattaya, 15,000 to 25,000 baht, about $420 to $700. Meals at local restaurants, 80 to 150 baht, around $2.50 to $4.50. Monthly groceries for one person, 8,000 to 12,000 baht, about $230 to $350. Now compare that to the Philippines. A comfortable retirement in Metro Manila, Cebu, or Davao costs around 40,000 to 55,000 pesos per month. That is roughly $700 to $1,000 USD. Rent for a similar one-bedroom apartment, 12 to 20,000 pesos, about $210 to $360. Meals at local restaurants, 100 to 200 pesos, around $1.80 to $3.60. Monthly groceries, 8,000 to 12,000 pesos, about $140 to $215. That is 30% to 40% cheaper across the board. But here is what the numbers do not show. In Thailand, you are always aware you are spending money. Every baht feels tracked. In the Philippines, money pressure disappears. You stop calculating. You say yes to dinner. You take a taxi instead of walking in the heat. You buy the better coffee. This does not create wealth. It creates breathing room. And breathing room changes behavior. When financial anxiety fades, life feels lighter. Days become enjoyable again, not just survivable. Thailand is affordable. The Philippines is liberating. For a retiree on a fixed pension, that difference matters more than any guidebook will tell you. Reason 4. Visa policies that actually make sense. Retirement should feel permanent, not probationary. In Thailand, long-term visas exist, but they come with constant bureaucracy. The retirement visa requires 800,000 baht, about $22,000, in a Thai bank account. That money must sit there, untouched, for months. Every 90 days, you report to immigration. Every year, you renew. Miss a reporting date? Face fines or worse. Want to leave and come back? Re-entry permits required. Own property? You cannot. Not legally. Foreigners can own condos, but never land. The message is clear. You are tolerated, not welcomed. The Philippines is different. The Special Resident Retirees Visa, or SRRV, is one of the easiest retirement programs in the world. Deposit $10,000 if you are over 50. That is it. No annual renewals. Number 9. 0 day reports. The visa is valid indefinitely. You can work. You can invest. You can even withdraw that deposit after a few years and still keep your status. And here is the part that surprises most people. Foreigners can own land in the Philippines under certain conditions. Through a Filipino spouse or corporation, ownership becomes possible. Thailand offers you a long stay. The Philippines offers you a life. For retirees who want stability, not supervision, that difference is massive. Reason 5. Religion and daily life. Religion shapes culture, whether people admit it or not. Thailand is 95% Buddhist. The philosophy centers on detachment, impermanence, and individual spiritual progress. This creates a calm, peaceful society, but it also creates emotional distance. Thais are polite, but rarely deeply warm with strangers. Socializing happens within established circles. For a foreign retiree, breaking into those circles is hard. You can live in Thailand for 10 years and still feel like an outsider. The Philippines is 86% Catholic, one of the only Catholic majority nations in Asia. The culture centers on community, family, and collective joy. Filipinos do not just tolerate foreigners, they engage with them. Conversations happen everywhere. Strangers smile, wave, ask questions. Sunday Mass is not just a religious ritual, it is a social event. Entire neighborhoods gather. Afterward, families eat together. Music plays. Laughter fills the streets. This is not performance. This is daily life. Western retirees describe feeling shocked at how quickly they are included. Invited to birthdays. Asked to be godparents. Welcomed into homes without hesitation. In Thailand, you can live peacefully, but alone. In the Philippines, solitude requires effort. For men who left the West because they felt invisible, that constant social presence is healing. Thailand offers tranquility. The Philippines offers belonging. Both are valuable. But only one fights loneliness. Reason 6. Healthcare. The unexpected advantage. When you are young, healthcare is background noise. When you retire, it becomes central. Thailand is famous for medical tourism. Bangkok hospitals like Bumrungrad and Summitivej are world-class. Modern equipment, English-speaking doctors. Affordable prices. A knee replacement in the US costs $35,000. In Thailand, $12,000. But here is what the brochures do not mention. Those top-tier hospitals are expensive by Thai standards, and they are concentrated in Bangkok. If you live in Chiang Mai, Pattaya, or Isan, quality drops fast. Outside major cities, English-speaking doctors are rare. Insurance becomes complicated. Foreigners often pay cash up front. The Philippines has quietly built a comparable system, and in some areas surpassed Thailand. Manila has world-class hospitals. St. Luke's, Makati Medical Center, Asian Hospital, all internationally accredited. But the real advantage is coverage. The Philippines has over 1,800 hospitals nationwide. Quality care exists beyond Metro Manila. Cebu, Davao, Iloilo, all have excellent medical facilities. And because of the American colonial history, the medical system mirrors US standards. Doctors train in English. Prescriptions are clear. Insurance is straightforward. Cost-wise, the Philippines matches or beats Thailand. A heart bypass in the Philippines costs around $10,000. Dental work, eye surgery, cancer treatment, all significantly cheaper than the West, often cheaper than Thailand. But the part that stands out most to retirees is dignity. In Thai hospitals, you are a medical tourist. Efficient, but transactional. In Philippine hospitals, you are a patient. The nurses remember your name. Doctors spend time explaining. Follow-ups feel personal. Healthcare quality may be equal, but healthcare experience is not. And when you are facing surgery at 70, That experience matters. Reason 7. The one thing. Fail and lost. So we have covered language, cost, culture, visas, religion, and healthcare. But there is one final reason, the hardest one to measure, but the easiest to feel. Thailand lost something intangible. And the Philippines still has it. That something is gratitude. 20 years ago, Thailand welcomed Western retirees with open arms. Foreigners brought money, respect, and stability to small towns. But tourism exploded. Millions arrived every year. Western retirees became just another category of foreigner. Not special, not valued, just expected. In many areas, resentment grew. Foreigners drove up rent. They changed neighborhoods. They acted entitled. Thai society responded with quiet distance. Politeness remained, but warmth faded. Today, many retirees in Thailand describe the same feeling: tolerated, not celebrated, useful, not valued. The Philippines has not reached that point yet. Western retirees are still relatively rare outside Metro Manila. When you arrive in a smaller city, Dumaguete, Bohol, Palawan, you are noticed, not as a walking ATM, as a person. Filipinos are genuinely curious. They ask about your life. They want to know your story. They introduce you to their families. This is not because Filipinos are inherently better people. It is because the Philippines is where Thailand was 20 years ago, still discovering what foreign retirees bring beyond money. Community, stability, cross-cultural exchange. And here is the key. Filipino culture, shaped by centuries of colonization and migration, is more adaptable, more open, more welcoming of outsiders becoming insiders. Thailand's cultural pride is beautiful, but it creates boundaries. The Philippines' cultural fluidity is messy, but it creates connection. Western men do not move to the Philippines just for cheaper rent or better visas. They move because they feel human again. They move because someone finally asks, "How are you?" and waits for the real answer. They move because loneliness, the kind that follows you even in a crowd, finally lifts. Thailand gave them peace. The Philippines gave them presence. And for men who spent decades feeling erased in their own countries, presence is priceless. Conclusion: the shift is real. So let's be clear. Thailand is not dying. It remains one of the most beautiful, organized, and livable countries in Southeast Asia. But the Philippines is rising. And the men making this move are not running away. They are running toward something, toward a language they understand, toward a cost of living that does not suffocate, toward a culture that includes them, toward visa policies that respect them, toward healthcare that treats them with dignity, toward a society that still values their presence. And yes, toward relationships built on mutual respect, not economic desperation disguised as romance. This is not about one country being superior. It is about fit. Thailand fits men who want solitude, spiritual calm, and aesthetic beauty. The Philippines fits men who want warmth, conversation, and connection. Thailand offers peace. The Philippines offers presence. Both are valid. Both are real. But if the numbers are any indication, more and more Western retirees are choosing connection over calm. They are choosing accountability over anonymity. They are choosing the Philippines. But here's my final thought. Wherever you choose to go, Thailand, Philippines, or anywhere else, remember this. You are not a savior. You are not a hero rescuing someone from poverty. You are a guest in someone else's country, in someone else's life. And guests who forget that do not deserve the welcome they receive. So here is my question for you. Thailand is dying. Philippines is rising. Am I wrong? Prove it in the comments. If you enjoy real-life comparisons like this, subscribe for more.